On a radiant summer morning, the kind of day where the sun kissed the earth with a gentle warmth and the sky stretched endlessly in an azure canvas, the Johnson family decided to escape the humdrum of suburban life. Their destination, a secluded crystalline stream nestled within the heart of Whispering Pines National Park. The air was alive with the hum of cicadas, and the scent of pine mingled with the faint coolness of water as they set up their picnic beneath a sprawling oak tree. 4-year-old Ethan, with his mop of golden curls and curious hazel eyes, could hardly contain his excitement. His tiny hands clutched a bright red bucket, ready to collect treasures from the stream. Beside him bounded Max, the family's loyal Labrador retriever, his tail wagging in exuberance. Max had been Ethan's steadfast companion since the day he was born, never straying far from the boy's side. "Ethan, stay close to us," his mother called as she unpacked sandwiches and lemonade. Her voice carried a mixture of love and caution, though her eyes betrayed a hint of worry. Ethan was known for his insatiable curiosity, a trait that often led him into mischief. "I will, Mommy," Ethan chirped, though his gaze was already fixed on the shimmering water. The stream sparkled like liquid glass under the sun, its gentle babbling beckoning him closer. Max trotted faithfully beside him, ears perked and eyes alert. As Ethan crouched near the water's edge, marveling at the smooth pebbles and darting minnows, Max sniffed around, occasionally letting out a playful bark. The scene was idyllic, a boy and his dog exploring nature's wonders. But nature, as serene as it seemed, harbored its own unpredictability. Ethan's small hands reached for a particularly shiny stone nestled just beyond his grasp. He inched forward, his sneakers slipping slightly on the moss-covered rocks. "Max, look at this one," he exclaimed, holding out his prize. But as he shifted his weight to stand, his foot betrayed him. The world seemed to tilt as Ethan lost his balance. A startled cry escaped his lips as he tumbled forward into the stream. The water was not deep near the edge, but the current was deceptively strong. It seized him with an icy grip, pulling him downstream before he could find his footing. "Ethan!" His mother's voice rang out in terror from afar as she saw her son swept away. Ethan flailed against the current, his tiny hands clawing at the water in desperation. His cries for help were choked by the rushing stream as it carried him further from safety. Panic surged through him. The world became a blur of water and sky. Max froze for only a split second before springing into action. The dog's keen senses had already registered Ethan's distress. With a deep, guttural bark that echoed through the trees, Max launched himself toward the water. His paws churned up dirt as he bolted toward the stream's edge. "Ethan, hold on!" his father shouted, sprinting after Max, but the dog was faster. Without hesitation, Max plunged into the water. The cold current enveloped him instantly, but he paddled with powerful strokes, his instincts honed by years of loyalty and love. The stream's force was relentless, pushing against him with every stroke, but Max's resolve was unshakable. Ethan's small form bobbed ahead, his cries growing weaker as exhaustion set in. Water splashed into his mouth and nose, making it harder to breathe. His arms felt like lead, and fear began to give way to a terrifying numbness. Max pushed forward with every ounce of strength he possessed. His heart pounded in rhythm with the current as he closed the distance between himself and Ethan. The boy's head dipped beneath the surface for a moment too long, and Max let out a desperate bark before lunging toward him. Finally, Max reached Ethan. The dog clamped his teeth gently onto the back of Ethan's shirt, careful not to hurt him but firm enough to hold on. With a fierce determination burning in his amber eyes, Max began to swim back toward the shore. The journey back was a battle against nature itself. The current fought to drag them further downstream, but Max refused to yield. His muscles burned with exertion. Every stroke felt like an eternity. Ethan hung limply in his grasp, coughing and sputtering as he clung to consciousness. "Max! Over here!" Ethan's father had reached a shallow part of the stream and waded in as far as he could without losing his footing. He stretched out his arms toward them, his face etched with desperation. Max gave one final surge of energy, propelling himself and Ethan toward safety. As they neared the shore, Ethan's father grabbed hold of his son and pulled him from the water. Ethan collapsed into his father's arms, coughing up water but breathing, a sound that brought tears of relief to everyone watching. Max dragged himself onto the bank moments later, collapsing onto the grass in exhaustion. His wet fur clung to his body, and his chest heaved with each labored breath. But even in his fatigue, he kept his eyes fixed on Ethan. Ethan! His mother rushed to them, dropping to her knees beside her son. She cradled him tightly against her chest, tears streaming down her face. "Oh, my baby, thank God you're okay." Ethan coughed again but managed a weak smile. "Mommy, Max saved me." The family turned their attention to Max, who lay sprawled on the ground but wagged his tail faintly at the sound of his name. "Good boy," Ethan's father said hoarsely, kneeling beside the dog and stroking his damp fur. "You're a hero." Ethan wriggled free from his mother's embrace and crawled over to Max. He wrapped his small arms around the dog's neck, burying his face in Max's fur despite its wetness. "Thank you, Max," he whispered. "You're my best friend." The sun began its descent toward the horizon as calm returned to Whispering Pines National Park. The family sat together on the grass, their picnic forgotten, but their hearts full of gratitude. Ethan clung tightly to Max, who rested his head on the boy's lap with a contented sigh. That evening, as they packed up to leave, Ethan turned back to look at the stream one last time. The water flowed serenely now, its earlier fury hidden beneath its glistening surface. It was a reminder of how quickly life could change, how nature could be both beautiful and unforgiving. As they drove home under a sky painted in hues of orange and pink, Ethan fell asleep with Max curled up beside him in the back seat. The dog's steady breathing matched the rhythm of Ethan's own, a silent testament to their unbreakable bond. And though Ethan would grow older and face many more adventures in life, he would never forget that summer day by the stream or the loyal friend who had risked everything to save him. The story of Ethan and Max reminds us of the extraordinary bond between humans and animals, a bond built on love, loyalty, and courage. It teaches us that even in the face of nature's unpredictability, acts of devotion and bravery can shine through. Let us cherish and protect the relationships we hold dear, for they are what truly matter in life. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring tales.